Hello once more and welcome to another episode of What Biology. And of course, today we're looking into another topic called the respiratory system. All right. And this is not the first time you hear about respiration. We heard about it countless times. All right. We have done digestive, we have done transport system. If you have not seen any of those episodes, please ensure you watch all of them before joining us in this class. Do not forget that these tutorials, this lesson, these episodes are brought to you by the O3 School JAMB CBT Practice with Application. And if you have made up your mind that you want to pass your JAMB at once, okay, please get the application. It's a veritable tool for your success. Before I talk about the app, let us see JAMB past question from the app. This is a 2015 question number 3. Okay, it says, which of the following uses diffusion as the principal method of gaseous exchange? Which of the following uses diffusion as the principal method of gaseous exchange? A says grasshoppers, B says rat, C says lizard, D says earthworm. Okay, so we'll come back to this question and many more from this application at the end of the class and not before, because at O3 Schools, we pride ourselves in giving you value. Let us teach you first, and after you have taught you, answering question will be the least of your problem. All right, so please ensure you go to Play Store or your App Store, or you can also download the app for your computer system. All right, so just download the app. The app has all the features that you need. It has all the past questions for your exam for all of the subjects, okay, under the practice for UTME. Likewise, we also have the question search feature where you can search for question according to topics, all right, and all the questions that JAMB has set under that topic will come out for you to answer, just like the way we search for respiration right now, and we're able to see this question. Likewise, there's a classroom with lecture notes structured according to the JAMB syllabus. The classroom has class notes. It has a JAMB syllabus, and then it has a study plan. You can create a study plan and finish your JAMB syllabus within the shortest possible time. Okay? Then likewise, there's a mock challenge. In that mock challenge, all students who are writing JAMB for this year come to the app every Saturday morning by 10 a.m. to compete with each other. Of course, to win amazing prizes. But the major reason for the challenge is not the prizes, but for you to get used to JAMB past question, to familiarize yourself with likely exam questions, and of course, you see your score release, okay, every Saturday, just like normal JAMB. Thereby, you're able to gauge how prepared you are. There are so many other features on the application as you are seeing on this screen. All of these features and more go for a small activation fee that is not up to the price of rice and chicken in a good restaurant. If you go to a restaurant right now, the price of one turkey, I think it's around 6,500 or 7,000 if I'm not mistaken in some areas. All right. So please, the activation fee is not up to that. So please ensure you download the application, activate it. This is your future we're talking about here. All right. So do not be stingy to your future. All right. Activate the app and get the most of it. So let us go to the respiratory system. First of all, we know that the human body is made up of different organ systems, right? For example, we've talked about the digestive system, we talked about the transport system, okay? There's also the excretory system. Now, we're also talking about respiratory system, okay? There are so many organ systems in the other body, in the human body, and all of these systems are carrying out different activities, all right? They are carrying out numerous activities. Right now, you see that maybe you eat, okay, you swallow food, or you take in food, you see the digestive system, we're trying to break it down into simple soluble forms, okay? If you want to respire, okay, you want to take in oxygen, air that's rich in oxygen, okay, or take out air that is rich in carbon dioxide from your body, the respiratory system will go into action, okay? Then also, we also have your transport system, your heart is pumping blood, your blood vessels, your arteries, your veins, all of them are transporting all of this blood up and down. Okay, many activities are going on in the human body, and that is what it should really mean when they say small body, big engine, because your body, this small body you are seeing here, the activities that are going on in it, okay, they are so numerous. But how are these activities? How they do, how are they able to go on with these activities without failing? Okay, and of course, you know that there's one thing that all of these systems, all of this that our cells need. There's one very, very major thing that they need for all of these activities to be able to go on without any problem, and that is energy. Okay, so if energy is not found, Okay, if there's no energy, all right, that means that what all of these systems will be shutting down, one after the other. Okay, although it may not just shut down maybe within a day or within even 1 week, but gradually, if they lack this energy, you see that what over time the world will shut down, the world will completely shut down. All right. So now, and we also know that what we have said it before when we talk about digestion, that the fuel that drives our body, the fuel that is FUEL, the fuel that drives our body is what? Is food. Okay, so food is the fuel that drives our body. That means that what? Food is what gives us what? Energy. Food is what gives all of these cells, all of these systems what? Energies. So this system, organ system, they're able to perform the activities. Okay, it is food that enables this to happen. But the major thing is that how is this what energy gotten from this food? So as you're taking the food, how is the energy gotten from what? From the food. The energy is gotten from the food by the process of what? By the process of respiration. Okay, so that's why we're talking about respiration today. That is why we are explicitly we're talking about respiration today. Okay, so we'll say that respiration is the process of producing energy with the intake of of oxygen and the release of carbon dioxide from the oxidation of complex organic substances. Okay, so respiration is the breakdown of of food to release energy. Okay, so that's what we also have this definition here. You can also take this definition. Respiration is the process of producing energy with the intake of oxygen and the release of carbon dioxide from the oxidation of complex organic substances. Okay, but of course, we can also say that our respiration, all right, in simple terms, is the breakdown of what? Of food substances, okay, to what now? To release energy. The breaking down of of food to release energy. And if this process of breakdown of food to release energy happens in our cells, okay, then we'll now call it what now? Cellular respiration. Okay, if this process of breakdown of food happens in the cells, okay, we'll call it what now? Cellular respiration. It's as easy as ABC. But now also, is it all food that we eat that gives us energy? That's a question for you. I'll give you 1 second to think about it. Is it all food that we eat that gives us energy? No. You are aware that we have what we call bodybuilding food, abi? There are some foods we call bodybuilding foods, okay, building foods, okay. We also have ones we call protective foods. We also have ones we call regulatory foods. Are you aware of all of this? Okay, so the bodybuilding foods, okay, like your proteins, they are your bodybuilding food, your meat, your fish, all of that. They are your bodybuilding foods. Okay, they also have protective foods. These protective foods, they are there to what? Basically what? Build your immune, okay? Help your body to fight against diseases. For example, your oranges. You take your oranges, all those fruits, them, okay? Those are they are protective food. We have regulatory foods. These regulatory foods that they help in digestion, okay? They help in making digestion easy. For example, your fibers. All these ones are regulatory foods, okay? So but we also have one we call the energy giving foods. These ones, they are meant to give us energy. They are meant to give us energy. For example, your carbohydrates. Okay, so your carbohydrate is an example of an energy giving food. Carbohydrates and fats. Carbohydrates and fats. Okay, these are they are energy giving foods. Okay, they are energy giving food. But if we're talking about instant energy, let's say you want to have energy. Okay, immediately. Okay, the food you should be thinking about is carbohydrate. So carbohydrate is for what? For instant energy. Energy. So it is not all food that we take in that gives us energy. All right. So for example, if you lick orange, and I say you're hungry and then you eat orange, it may hold you for a moment, but because its major purpose is not to give you energy. Before you know, you are hungry again. Okay, but carbohydrates, they are energy giving foods. Okay, they are energy giving food, and carbohydrates, they exist in in complex forms. In complex forms. That means that for us to be able to make use of carbohydrates, We're going to what? Break it down, okay, through the process of digestion into simple soluble word forms, okay, into simple soluble word forms. And one of those simple soluble forms is what? Is glucose. Okay, so through the aid of what? Of digestion, okay, carbohydrate can breaking down to what? A simple or soluble form, like what? Like glucose. And of course, respiration will occur, and then energy is what? Is released. For example, let us just see. For example, let's say you're taking a food like what? Like carbo. Okay, you're taking food that is what? Rich in carbohydrate. You're taking food that is rich in carbohydrate. Then what happens? Digestion what occurs. Okay, through the process of digestion, this carbohydrate is what? Broken down into what? Glucose. Okay, as broken down to glucose, then cellular respiration occurs in the cells. Cellular respiration occurs in the cell, and then what? Energy is produced or is released. Okay, so this is what? A simple what? Flow chart. All right, we're taking food rich in carbohydrate. Okay, digestive system works on it through the process of digestion. The carbohydrate is broken down into a simple soluble form, like what? Like glucose. Through the process of cellular respiration or respiration, glucose is broken down to what? To release energy. And that means that also we can define respiration, okay, or cellular respiration as the process of what? Or breakdown of what? Of glucose to release energy. Okay, so it's another definition for what? For what? For respiration. Okay, respiration is the breakdown of what? Glucose. All right, you may see it somewhere. It's the breakdown of what? Of glucose to what? To release what? Energy. All right, so that is also what? Respiration. Now, there are two critical processes that are involved in gaseous exchange. Okay, two very, very critical processes that are involved in gaseous exchange. All right, in this class, we're not going to rush into the human respiratory system so fast. Okay, first of all, we're going to talk about respiration in fishes. Okay. Breathing mechanism in fishes. We'll talk about that in what? Of course, in tadpoles. We look at that in what? In insects, okay, like the tracheal system, all right, and so on and so forth. So take it gently before we now go to respiration what? In man, okay. So respiration what? In mammals, especially what? Man, especially man. I know that is the part we're waiting for, but this part is also very, very important, and it's in your syllabus, and that is why we'll talk about what? All of them, okay. Characteristics of an ideal respiratory what? Surface. Okay, so now, so this is what happens. We're taking food rich in carbohydrate, digestion happens, breaks it down into what? Glucose, okay, and then what? Through the process of cellular respiration, what? Energy is released. And I said there are two critical processes, okay, that are involved in involved in what? In gaseous exchange. Number one, we have what? External respiration. External respiration. Then number two, talk about internal respiration. Please take note of these two, okay? External respiration and internal respiration. These are two critical processes involved in gaseous exchange, all right? In gaseous exchange. Now, what is external respiration? External respiration involves the exchange of gases. This one involves, if you are writing, please, you can take what you note down, all right? As you know very well, apart from what I give you here, every other thing, we'll talk about it, okay? So please ensure that any key point, you can hold, all right? Write it down somewhere and read them over and over again. And also, please, for some reason, some of you don't like liking our videos. Some of you don't share. Some of you don't drop comments. All these are all wickedness, okay? You cannot watch all of this and you do not drop comments. You do not you do not share to other people, okay? It's very, very, very bad. So please ensure you click on the like button, ensure you share these videos, and ensure you drop comments, okay? And God will keep blessing you, all right? Success is in fact, success is at your doorstep. Just reach out and get it. All right. So now let us go. So we say external respiration involves what? Involves the exchange of gases between the external environment and the blood through what? Respiratory surfaces, okay? So now, we said that what? External respiration, okay, involves the exchange of what of gases between the external environment and the blood, okay, through the respiratory surface. The respiratory surface I'm talking about here could be what the lungs, okay, it could be what even gills, okay, all right. So that is what external respiration is, okay. And the major purpose of external respiration, the major purpose of external respiration is to oxygenate blood, blood, okay, and then remove carbon dioxide from the body. The major purpose of external respiration is to oxygenate the blood and then remove carbon dioxide from the body, okay. So when we talk about external respiration, we're talking about the exchange of gases between the external environment and the blood through the respiratory surface, all right. And the major purpose of external respiration is to oxygenate the blood and remove carbon dioxide from the body. So please take note of that. All right. So now also we talk about internal respiration. What is internal respiration? Another name for internal respiration is cellular respiration. Okay, we can also call it cellular respiration. Please take note of that. We also call internal respiration cellular respiration. We say that internal respiration, that is internal respiration. Okay, this one involves the exchange of gases between the blood and the body tissues. Okay, so for internal respiration, okay, it involves the exchange of gases between the blood, okay, and the body tissues. Okay, so please take note of that. All right. So for internal respiration is the exchange of gases. It involves the exchange of gases between the blood and the body tissues. Okay, all right. And what is the major purpose of internal respiration? The major purpose of internal respiration is to supply cells with with oxygen. Okay, this is the major purpose of internal respiration, is to supply cells with oxygen, and then remove carbon dioxide from the body. Okay, that is the major function of or purpose of internal respiration, is to supply cells with oxygen, and then to remove CO2 from the body. Okay, so that is why we say internal respiration is also called cellular respiration. Also call it cellular respiration. Okay, it involves the exchange of gases between the blood and the body tissues. Okay, its function is to supply cells with oxygen for cellular respiration and to remove carbon dioxide from the body. All right, so now we're going to look at characteristics of an ideal respiratory surface. Okay, so now what is first of all a respiratory surface? We say a respiratory surface is a specialized area in an organism. A respiratory surface is a specialized area in an organism where gas exchange occurs. Between the external environment and the bloodstream. Okay, it's a specialized area in an organism. That's the respiratory surface. Okay, a respiratory surface is a specialized area in an organism where gaseous exchange occurs between the external environment and the bloodstream. Okay, the bloodstream or the body fluids. Okay, so that's what a respiratory surface. That's what a respiratory surface is. All right, but then now there are some characteristics that an ideal respiratory surface should have or should possess. Okay, so an ideal respiratory surface must be moist. Okay, it must be moist to be able to dissolve gases. Okay, you know what it means to be moist now. Okay, all right, it should not be dry. To be moist. Okay, should have at least should be how should I put it? Should not be dry. If something is not dry, okay, but it's not as if it's one kind of watery thing, okay, but it's just moist, right? It's a little bit has a little bit of water, okay. So it must be moist to be able to dissolve gases. It must be moist to dissolve gases. Then number two, must have large surface area. It a respiratory surface must have a large surface area to increase the uptake of what? Of gases. Okay, must what? Have what? A large surface area to increase the uptake of gases. That is one characteristic of an ideal respiratory surface. Number two, it must be moist to dissolve gases. Then number three, it should be thin. A respiratory surface should be thin to allow for fast diffusion of gases. A respiratory surface must be thin or should be thin to allow for fast diffusion of gases. Also, it should be highly vascularized with blood capillaries to absorb and transport what? The gases. Okay, capillaries are what? For transport. All right, so it should be highly vascularized with blood capillaries to absorb and transport what? The gases. Then also it should be what? Permeable to allow the passage of what? Of gases. Okay, it should be permeable. All right, by being permeable, that means you allow what? Liquids, you allow gases to what? To be able to pass through them easily. Okay, so it should be what? Permeable to allow the passage of what? Of gases. These are the characteristics of an ideal respiratory what? Surface. Okay, so next thing we're going to do, we're going to look at some respiratory surfaces, and then we're going to what? Talk about what? Their organs. Okay, all right. That's all. We'll talk about some respiratory surfaces and what? And the organisms that what? That this what? Respiratory surfaces what? Occur in. All right. So now let us go to that immediately so that we do not waste a lot of time. All right. So I'm going to see respiratory surfaces, and then I'm going to look at what? The organisms, okay, that these respiratory surfaces are in. So number one, for example, we have what? Cell membrane. So I'm going to talk about what? Respiratory surfaces. Then on this side, we're now going to talk about the organism. So number one, we have what? Cell membrane. Okay. So now, some unicellular organisms, they lack what we call specialized respiratory what? Organs. They lack specialized respiratory what? Organs. So they are able to what? To respire directly through what? Their cell membrane. Okay. Organisms such as amoeba, such as paramecium, and some bacteria. Okay, they do this. Okay, they take in oxygen and they take out oxygen directly through the what? The cell membrane. Okay, so cell membrane can act as what? As a respiratory surface. Please take note of what of that. The cell membrane can act as a respiratory surface. Okay, an organism that will see this is, for example, is amoeba. Okay, you can see it in bacteria. Okay, I think paramecium also. Okay, so you can see them what? In this what? Organisms. Okay, all right. They take in oxygen. Oxygen diffuses in what? And what? Goes out directly through what? The cell membrane. All right. So now also we have another what? Respiratory surface I'm going to look at. Number two is the gills. Okay, the gills. Okay, for the gills, the organisms that what? That use what? Gills as a respiratory what? Surface. Okay, for example, are what? Fish. Okay, we have what? Your tadpoles. And then also have your crustaceans. Okay, these organisms, what? They use gills for what? For gaseous what? Exchange. Their respiratory surface is what? Is the gills. Is the gills. Okay, so that is their respiratory what? Surface. Okay, for cell membrane, amoeba, paramecium, bacteria. For gills, fishes, or tadpoles, or crustaceans. Okay, then likewise, another respiratory surface is the skin. Okay, is the skin. Okay, some organisms, they use the skin and mouth. Okay, so the skin and mouth. Okay, most organisms that use what? The examples of organisms that use mouth. Okay, as almost the same example that is what? Skin. Okay, all right. So, but some organisms, let me just take them out. What? Skin. Okay, skin. Organisms that have respiratory surface are what? Are skin. We have what? Number one, we have what? Your frog. You have what? Your toad. You have what? Your earthworm. Okay, they use their skin. Okay, as a respiratory what? Surface. Okay, they use their skin as what? As a respiratory what? Surface. Then also, we also have another respiratory surface, which is the lungs. Okay, this is a very, very quite popular one, right? So lungs, they are found, for example, in your reptiles. They are found in your reptiles. Okay, they are found in what? In birds. in mammals, okay, that are found in what? In birds. Okay, so lungs that are found in your reptiles, okay, your mammals and what? And your birds. Okay, so that is what another word respiratory surface. The lung is another respiratory word surface. Okay, the reptiles, mammals, and birds are examples of organisms that uses the lung, okay, as a respiratory surface. Then likewise, we have what? The mouth. Okay, sorry, 5 now. Mouth. Okay, so an organism that what? Organisms that use mouth as a respiratory surface. It's frog. Okay, frog is also what? An example. So how what? A frog, how what? A toad. Okay, these two organisms, okay, they use the mouth as their respiratory surface also. Okay, that's why I see that what? Skin and mouth. Okay, see the examples are almost were similar. All right, okay, except for the earthworm. All right, so it was good that what I separated them. Now, apart from what? The cell membrane, the gills, the skin, the lungs, the mouth, we also have what? Of course, plants. Okay, the stomata in plants. Number 6, stomata. This one is what? Is what? Is plants. Okay, then we also have in the stem, number 7 now. Okay, we have what? Lenticels. Lenticel, okay, in what? In the stem. All right, so these are all what examples of respiratory surfaces, okay, and the organisms and what I use what them. Okay, so for cell membrane, we'll go over again: amoeba, bacteria, paramecium. For gills, fish, tadpoles, crustaceans. For skin, frog, toad, and earthworm. For lungs, your reptiles, your mammals, and your birds. Your mouth, frog and toad. Your stomata, in plants. Your lenticels, what? For stem. All right, so take note of what of all of them. You see them in your exam. You see them in your past question. Numerous, in fact, repeated was severally. Okay, so please you know what. Make sure what commit them to memory. Now, also, it's also good to know that some multicellular organisms like earthworms, okay, like toads, like frogs, these multicellular organisms carry out gaseous exchange, okay, through the body surface, okay, through the body surface. Some multicellular organisms, okay, some multicellular organisms, e.g., okay, like a toad, like a frog, okay, e.g., like what? Your frogs, okay, like what? Your toads, like your earthworm. All right. Remember, just now we'll talk about what the skin. Okay, using the skin as what? As a respiratory surface. Okay, so some multicellular organisms like the frogs, like the toad, like the earthworm. Okay, they use what? Their body surface. Okay, as a respiratory as a respiratory surface. So they use their body surface for gaseous exchange. Okay, they use their body surface. Okay, carry out gaseous exchange. Carry out gaseous exchange through the body surface. Okay, and the exchange of what of these gases is what is done through what the process of diffusion. Through the process of diffusion. Okay, and the process of what of this exchange is carried out through the process of what of diffusion. Through the aid of diffusion, these organisms are able to carry out gaseous exchange through their body surfaces. Okay, so please take note of what that through what diffusion, through diffusion, DI. Okay, diffusion. All right, so that is what the process. Okay, so some multicellular organisms like the frogs, like the toad, the earthworm carry out gaseous exchange through their body surface. Okay, and they carry out what gaseous exchange through the process of what of diffusion. Okay, by simple diffusion. By simple diffusion, they're able to carry out what gaseous exchange through their body surfaces. All right, so please take note of what of all of these examples. They are all worthy of note. If they are not, I would have told you. Now, let us go to the app, answer some questions, and we're out of here. 2015 number 3, which we're looking at initially, which are the following uses diffusion as the principal method of gaseous exchange. Okay, so for example, we should be looking at frog, toad, and what earthworm. All right, so A say grasshoppers, no. B say rat, no. C say lizard, no. D say earthworm. So earthworm is very, very well correct there. Okay, so they use what? Diffusion. They use diffusion through the process of simple diffusion. They're able to carry out gaseous exchange. Now let us see another question. 2022 number 7. 2022, number 7. It said the following organisms' possession of lung is for gaseous exchange, except lungs. For lungs, we're talking about reptiles, talking about birds and mammals. Okay, so let us check. Okay, it says mammals. We're talking about which of the following. Some of you don't read the instruction, and that's where you start feeling from. They don't say which organism uses lungs for gaseous exchange. They say which of the following organisms' possession of lungs is for gaseous exchange, except. That means all of the organisms mentioned use lung for gaseous exchange except one. A says mammals. Mammals use lungs. B say birds. Birds use lungs. C say reptiles. Reptiles use lung. D say fishes. Fishes do not use lung. They use what? They use gills. Okay? So please take note of what that. So correct answer there will be what? Option D. Now 2021 number 12 says which of the following organisms respires through the body surface? Through the body surface again. So you're looking at what? This example. Okay. Correct answer there should be what? Should be amoeba. Okay. The amoeba what uses what the body surface is. Uses what the body surface what? To respire. Use the body surface to what? To respire. Though not here, but amoeba uses the body surface to what? To respire. It's not man, it's not fish. Neither is it what? Tridacts. Now let us go to 2022 number 5. It said dash is the oxidation of food substances within the cells, leading to the release of energy, carbon dioxide, and water. The oxidation of food substances within the cells. It says internal respiration. If we're talking about cells, okay, we should talk about what? Internal respiration, all right? So that is definitely what it is, okay, between the blood and the body tissues, okay? And we'll say the major purpose is to what? To supply the cells with what? With oxygen. Internal respiration, the major purpose of internal respiration is to supply the cells with what? With oxygen for cellular respiration, all right? So correct answer there will be what? A, internal respiration. B says external, C says inhalation, D says exhalation, all right? So correct answer is what? A. So there are many other questions on this app. It's just for you to what? To take the app and what? Use it to your advantage. Study and go and succeed. All right. My name is Master T. I'm the Grand Commander of this army. And I implore you that you keep your studying. Next class, I'm going to look at what breathing mechanism, what some other organisms before we talk about what breathing what in man, okay, or in mammals. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in those next episodes.